Hello, happy Sunday. We are getting ready to dive in here to a new week, a new collective card pull. And as I record this and all of the things that are unfolding today, a full moon in Capricorn, conjunct Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, we are collectively feeling its effects in more ways than one. So I thought it would be a good time to bring in a couple of the healing energy sprays here that I'm feeling connected to use for myself, and intentions I want to set for not only the country where I live, but the entire world. So while we are certainly riding the waves of a lot of tumultuous energies, how about we bring in the sapphire ray of peace and reconciliation? And more specifically, this beautiful special edition spray, Man in the Mirror, Make That Change. This is a beautiful energy spray that is, of course, bringing through the energies of Michael Jackson and created lovingly by Angelic Celestial Colors, along with Amanda's amazing Heart Squad channeling work that she has done with Michael as one of the cornerstones of that series. I just want to talk to you a little bit about the intentions that are coming through with that spray. So this is a spray and the energies that I wish to infuse here as a powerful reminder for all of us to look in the mirror, to do the inner work, to make the change needed to heal what is arising within us. With love as the greatest healer, this is bringing through an energy of support, and also awakening us, asking that we may stop, pause, reflect, offering ourselves a moment to acknowledge how we're feeling. How do I feel? What is arising for me in this moment? What energy is presenting itself as a gift to assist me in my ascension? It's also very helpful when feeling overwhelmed with the world and its problems and difficulties. And this is inspired by Michael saying, the world is in me, and we make peace with it by offering it our love. We are the felled tree, but we are also the newly planted sapling, and hope always triumphs over despair. The change we seek starts with us, and by getting to know thyself, we get to know the world and can bring a balm to it and ourselves. So those are the channeled words that come through with this energy that I wish to bring in as a healing balm, an inspiration, and something through which we can set the intention for the frequency that we choose to align with here in this space, which is always the highest, most expansive timeline available to us as a collective. So with that, I am going to, and I'm going to make a swap here. I wasn't going to use this deck. Ooh, did I leave it there for a reason though? Okay, I'll leave it. I was going to use Sacred Destiny. I didn't swap it out. No problem. Okay, I will start with this then. Okay, I hear you. So when we get into our astrological weather this week, I'm going to start by just speaking briefly again about the fates popping out there. This full moon energy that we are in right now. So this energy that the full moon peaked at 6:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time this morning, and is bringing through a lot of that reconciliation energy, that taking responsibility and accountability, the culmination of things being exposed, things coming to full illumination so that we can take action. So let's get our Wisdom of the Oracle card that wants to be here this week. Let's see. One card here for us collectively. Oh yeah. Okay, fine. I get it. We needed this deck. A change in the wind. Make that change. You can't make it up, guys. Goosebumps are abounding. I was going to bring out for us, our Queen of the Moon cards that I have coming in here. Not only did I pull one on Stars and Cards with Mila, which is the one that happens to come to mind here. It was the Will card, which was about I have the will to make the change needed. So there's this sense of, do we have the will? Do we have the willingness to make that change? And so bringing that in here, along with the card that came forward, spoiler alert, in the Empowerment Pack full moon reading, was the Surrender card, this energy of surrender. So, by the way, if you still would like to join the part 1 reading for the Empowerment full moon reading it had so many synchronicities, so many spiritual breadcrumbs, so many alignments to the first full moon reading, to the cards that came up in Stars and Cards. And so I highly recommend, if you want to tune in and work more deeply with this full moon here today, check out the full moon empowerment reading. You can join. It's just $22. And then after you move through that part 1, I will then pull your 2 personal cards to build off of that 6-card spread. But I just wanted to show you the Queen of the Moon energies here again. And I do feel with this sapphire energy coming in, oh yeah, there was all kinds of mirror talk too. So it was just like all the things we can't make up. So with that, let me get down to it. I'm being chatty because I've been working all day in my kids' playroom, cleaning out that closet, clearing stuff out. We have a big project happening here this week, and push has come to shove. The time is now, and I'm being moved to have to deal with all of the stuff that has built up in that closet and clearing things out and releasing and letting go of old things. So it's extremely symbolic of this full moon energy and the messages that have been coming in. But I've been doing so sort of head down, for hours. So I'm a little excited to get here behind the altar. I'm really looking to see what comes through this week in our Astral Mermaid Tarot messages for us collectively, especially in light in the waves of energies that we're moving through here collectively. And that's where we're going to bring forward these 5 cards that are going to represent each day of this week. But of course, time not being linear, they're going to interact with each other throughout the week. And you are always welcome to take what resonates for you, leave the rest. That's how it works with a collective reading. There's always somebody else there to pick it up. And I love hearing from you guys as to how these messages end up playing out for you. It's never boring, that's for sure. All right, so let's see what's coming in here for Monday to set the tone. And I should have said, hello, Leo season. Maybe that's another reason why I'm getting a little giddy, because I am so ready to say farewell. Sorry, Cancerians. Cancer season, bye-bye. Leo season starts tomorrow, Monday. So, look who it is, the Emperor. Let me tell you again, spoiler alert, that is an energy that has been coming up on repeat. Mars, bringing in this energy of leadership, leading, of strategy, of what we are, the structures that we're rebuilding, and so much more. So not surprised at all to see that energy here. Let's see what we have coming in for Tuesday as a potential block or challenge this week. Potential block or challenge. The Chariot, forward movement, balance. And yeah, that Cancer energy isn't rushing on out of here because there's still a sense of what has been looming, I feel, just looking at this. And it's like the whale. Yeah, there's definitely some big energies, big feels. The Chariot is going to bring up these things that are needing balance and before we can make that forward movement as well. So there can be some challenges there. Chariot always speaks to automobiles and transportation as well. So it's going to, pertain to travel and movement from here to there and the vehicles in which we do so. So there could certainly be some practical ways that shows up as well. Wednesday is our midweek blessing. Let's see what we have coming in for Wednesday. We had 2. Okay, I saw you. I see what they were. But we're just going to ask for one. Not that we don't want more than one blessing. But let's get some clarity on the Wednesday card, please. Ooh, 7 of Earth. 7 of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, so there's definitely a pacing happening here in terms of, that movement, that growth, and what we're seeing here. That's beautiful. Love that. Okay, Wednesday, Thursday is how we are growing. Card for Thursday for how we are growing. New beginnings, fresh start, new cycle. Yeah, I feel that. We're culminating here with this full moon in Capricorn, stepping into the new, stepping into Leo season, and fresh energy on offer. So this is new beginnings. This is definitely showing this openness, this curiosity, this readiness for exploration. I'm feeling really taking it up to that next level. Okay, I love that. And then Friday, wrapping up our week. I can't believe we got change in the wind, and yet I can. All the things to say about that card. Okay, Friday. Oh, yay! There's special cards in this deck, and this is one of them, the Astral Mermaid. So this is not a tarot card. I'm so excited that we got to see this. I have yet to get one of those. So we will dive in and see what that's all about. It's different from the standard tarot, but it's got a message for us this week, and I'm definitely seeing a theme with the whales as well. So I'm going to tap into that. So here we go. I'm going to pop back here on the Empowerment Sharecast. And see what's coming in here. We're going to start with some astrological energetic weather this week and roll into our oracle and tarot messages. So tune in. I'm still going to put it out there about personal cards. I actually didn't get to do them last week, so I only had like maybe 1 or 2 requests, and I apologize that didn't happen. It was such a catch-up week from having been away. This week, rolling into those full moon card pulls for everyone who's receiving the full moon empowerment reading. So just know the complimentary card pulls are available as I can. So if you would like one, you can let me know, and I appreciate your patience in divine timing as I prioritize the wider session work. And you are welcome to join me for that. Again, if you would like to come along for this full moon reading, I have the link ready to send you instantly for that first 1-hour reading where we really dive into these energies today. And then we will get into your personal card pulls. Okay, guys, let's go ahead, see what's coming up for our week. All right, starting off with our astrological weather for this week, the energies we're moving through. It's so interesting. This change in the wind card is really going to speak to a lot of this energetic weather, as we can see the change in the wind that's indicated on that card. So as we stand here and now, we are experiencing the second Capricorn full moon of the year. The first one, of course, was back on June 21st, and we may be finding that we are being drawn back to that time period because we're sort of looking at this cycle that has unfolded here from Capricorn full moon to Capricorn full moon. And perhaps more information may have come to light here in this full moon on the issues that were circling at that time. We also may find that something's completed or put to rest that we've been struggling with for the last few months. So the Capricorn full moon here today is really calling for us to release and let go of things that are blocking us from realizing our true potential. So think about what fears or self-limiting beliefs may be holding you back and see if you can release them to the moon. So again, in the full moon empowerment reading that I have available, I shared the ritual from Forever Conscious that you can do with this full moon. And I also added a little exercise that I was inspired to share, a little something for you to contemplate that goes with some music and musings that came forward for me in this full moon. So again, that is available if you would like to check that out and work more deeply with today's full moon. Now happening here as well, we have on July 21st, as I'm recording this, Mercury square Uranus. So Mercury, the planet of communication, is making a tense alignment here with Uranus, the planet of innovation and freedom. Now, Uranus is considered the higher octave of Mercury, so it's a powerful energy dynamic to work with. This could leave us feeling a little scattered and all over the place, and we may find it hard to know which direction to go or how we really feel. Interesting about this change in the wind card that insisted on coming even when I tried to swap out the deck in the card pull. So we do still need our minds here in this case, and to go with the flow. So, we're having this sense of, mentally being tuned in, but also allowing ourselves to flow with the energies. And in some cases, the answers are not always obvious. Sometimes we have to think bigger or stretch our minds to new dimensions. I think this may be what the whales that are coming in too, because the dolphins came in last week. We ended with the 3 of Wands, which featured 3 dolphins. And that came up a lot throughout the week in my personal sessions, and referring to the dolphins being those higher dimensional beings. And whales are right there for me with this symbolism of just how intelligent and high frequency they are. So I'm feeling a real nod to the whales that came forward on these cards, like I mentioned in the card pull, and that feels connected to this particular energetic weather. Something that the universe is calling us to do here. So what is the call, right? So it's kind of piquing our attention and our minds in that direction and flowing with it. Now, I may have mentioned that Leo season is beginning tomorrow, Monday, July 22nd. Yes, whoop, whoop. Happy birthday, fellow Leos. We are moving out of the watery season of the crab and into the fiery season of Leo. Leo is a fun, vibrant, and playful energy to work with, and it's known for its proudness, its flair, and its ability to seek pleasure and luxury. And the sun, of course, loves being in the sign of Leo and feels most at home in this sign of the zodiac. So this is really an auspicious time that's bringing forward some really powerful energies, especially in the coming month as we move toward the 8/8 Lion's Gate. We'll talk more about that as we step into August, just around the corner. But this is definitely a very beautiful energy. The sun is our life force and our recharger. So find ways to recharge your energy under the Leo sun. Yay. Now, also on July 22nd, Monday, the sun trine Neptune. So this is a magical and creative day. Neptune is still in retrograde, of course, but this alignment allows us to harness some of its creative energy. It's a powerful day for all types of creative endeavors. So allow your imagination to soar. July 23rd, we have the sun opposite Pluto. So now we'll have the sun in Leo opposing Pluto in Aquarius. This is a powerful point on our journey when it comes to transformation. How have you transformed? What have you shed away? This is a good time to acknowledge that cycle of death and rebirth that you have most recently moved through. So this is key here with, as I say, these energies of, looking through a full moon to full moon. What have I released, shed, let go, forgiven, whether it's energetic, physical? Like I said, lots of clutter coming out of here. I've already filled 3 trash bags. We have donations piled up. Everybody's discovering things they forgot that we had. So this is happening like physically in my home and energetically and all the things. So I totally feel this opportunity to really reflect over all of this. July 25th is my middle daughter's birthday. It's her sweet 16. And also Mercury entering Virgo. So Mercury enters its ruling zodiac of Virgo. Mercury loves to be in Virgo and can help us to be more discerning and to pay attention to the smaller details. Mercury in Virgo can be critical, however, so we need to ease up on ourselves and others. Give some grace. Okay, then we have July 26th here to close us out will be, last but certainly not least, Chiron retrograde. So the asteroid Chiron will station retrograde on Friday the 26th to close out the month. Chiron is the asteroid known as the wounded healer, and it enters retrograde until December. This is one that I feel very aligned to. I've done a number of videos talking about the energies of Chiron and how you can work with it. I actually have a Chiron retrograde spread that I offer. That's a really beautiful, deep, healing, and insightful reading. So if you're interested in any of that, I can certainly point you in those directions. This is a wonderful time to really nourish and love ourselves despite our wounds. Because Chiron retrograde gives us a chance to go back over the parts of ourselves that have been exposed through trauma or wounding. It's about those scars, those aspects of us that may never truly heal, but can rather be transformed into deep portals of wisdom that we're able to move forward and share. So this is a wonderful time for us to really digest and integrate and think about ways that we can move forward. And now with Chiron and Aries, we're encouraged to release our fears and soldier on. Chiron, being known as the wounded healer, has this energy of having learned to harness and love its wounds as a part of itself rather than wishing things to be different. So this is our chance to instill that type of acceptance in our own lives. It's really beautiful and does offer deep, profound healing. And beyond that, turning that into a blessing, a gift, and raising again that frequency. Think about the cone of emotions and the messages I've been sharing around, yes, utilize those lower vibrational energies of the wounds, of the trauma, right? Shame, guilt, apathy, grief. All of those lower vibration aspects, utilize them to uplift and to transmute into powerful courage, willingness to make that change, to be that change, acceptance, love, joy, peace, enlightenment. So that's the energy that we're closing out here with as we get ready now to step into our cards messages for our week ahead. Let's take a look. All right, let's kick off our card messages with this oracle card, the Change in the Wind card from the Wisdom of the Oracle. If you saw the card pulls, you know that I was trying to swap out the deck, and this one said, nope, I'm here for a reason. And of course, this card came forward. It's card 12, which is bringing forward the vibration of the number 3, which of course is the number of creation, co-creation, collaboration, and beautifully here as a change in the wind. It's bringing forward an essential meaning on the card with a sense that unseen change has been initiated. It's about preparation for a storm and the awareness that your plans are not on firm ground, feeling a shift, uncertainty about which direction the winds will blow. Well, it is not lost on me, and I know most of us are in the US, but it really doesn't matter where we are in the world. We are likely all aware on some level or another that there is a lot of political unrest and change in the wind happening here in terms of, I do just keep feeling those like the ticks on the, the roller coaster sort of rising up to that. And I hate roller coasters, by the way. I'm not a roller coaster person. I think there's two kinds of people in this world. I'm that one. I'm not a roller coaster person. However, I am throwing my hands up in the air to allow myself to witness, to observe what's happening around me. And that, as it's describing here, this sense of not being on firm ground and feeling that shift, that uncertainty. And even if it's a sense of just sort of observing from afar or wherever you find yourself in the spectrum, there's no denying that's coming in here front and center on this day under this full moon in Capricorn and all the other aspects that we've been talking about. And then how does that ripple out and turn into a place where we're seeing it as above, so below, as within, so without? How is it showing up in your individual lives? And in what way can you affect change as we talk about man in the mirror and making that change? So this card is talking about it being human nature to yearn for certainty and to resist change, to want the world to remain consistent like a zebra's stripes. Yet nothing in human experience is black and white, nor will anything remain static. The one thing guaranteed is change. Now is a time of transformation as outer conditions are temporarily moving out of sync with your desires and expectations. Stay the course, and remember that even storms serve to clear the air, scatter seeds, and nourish the soil for better things ahead. Life is about to get interesting. That is a word for it. Anticipate it with curiosity. Remember that Fool showed up for us this week as how we are growing, right? I don't like roller coasters, but I'm throwing my hands in the air. I'm going to flow. I'm flowing, right? Just like the astrological weather report was telling us about this energy that we're moving through right now, here and now. Allow yourself to flow, because we may find it difficult to know which direction to go or how we really feel. So we have to still our minds and go with the flow, right? So that's the guidance that's coming right up here on this day, which, by the way, is 21 and this is 12. So we have that inversion of that number. So, as we are anticipating the interesting, with curiosity, the unknown is where the magic lies. So anticipate it with curiosity. So yeah, this can show up in relationships where those dynamics may feel in flux or unstable, or we're not really sure where things are developing with a particular relationship, agreement. Could be our relationship with something, a behavior, a pattern, a way of being. It can be certainly with other individuals. It can be in personal life, romantic, business, and everything in between. So, there's this message here to recognize that when things get a little bumpy, if the seas are rough, it's an opportunity for mutual growth. It's a way for you to understand your own heart better. How is this relationship serving the storminess in this relationship? What might the storminess in this relationship be coming up to serve in the way of clearing the air, scattering seeds, and nourishing the soil? Now, from a perspective of prosperity, if you are working to create a prosperous life, whether it be in business, whether it be through your passions or something that you're working to bring together, whether you're, in studies or schooling or anything that might be coming up for you, you may be encountering some unexpected reversals that could cause you to shift directions. This is a good thing, so there's nothing to fear. Perhaps an opportunity you sought went to someone else. Perhaps you pursued something that you suddenly realize is not in your highest good. You might not be 100% clear on where you need to go, but you are certain that things are not going as planned. Circumstances are not in your control right now. Wait it out. All will be well. Even better, actually. Trust is the guidance from the Oracle. So, I just love that this card came forward. I think it's so interesting that we talk about the zebra and the stripes of black and white with its predictability, with its extremes of this or that, yes or no, right or wrong. And we're sort of blowing the cover off of all of that and tossing that script out the window. So whether we're talking about two very specific schools of thought, beliefs, parties, ways of being, whatever they are, there is a change in the wind that's showing here. And it's so beautiful how we see that happening with the turning of the north to south, this weather vane at the top. And it's reminding me of Mary Poppins, actually. Oh boy, I know, shameless movie reference, but at the beginning, when the storm comes through and flips the direction of the wind, and then here she comes, right? And so then all of the lessons and the different comparisons that we could bring forward that movie brings come to mind. But in general, it's that there is a shift, there is a change, and it's uncertain, and we are weathering that with trust. Right? So let me go ahead and pull up our spread, and we're going to dive in now and see what the tarot has to add to this beautiful card. All right, here we go with Monday's card. And as I record this, my birthday girl this week and my husband are arriving home. They've been gone all day at softball, so there's definitely some household noises abounding outside my door. But the Emperor has come up here for our Monday card to set the tone. And it's most of you who are following along through the Empowerment Pack, you may have seen Stars and Cards, that the Emperor has come up no less than 4 times across full moon to full moon and these different times that we have dipped into the energies. So, we're going to talk about the consistent message that the Emperor has been bringing forward in terms of stepping into our own power as a leader, and taking the reins, but also sort of adopting some of the best practices of the Emperor. Because when the Emperor is in its power, we're talking about being very disciplined and strategic and able to make moves that make sense. Now, last week we had a card come forward that featured, it was the Devil card that had the chessboard and the pawns. And I can't even tell you how many times I saw a chessboard or chess pieces all week long, including one of the Oracle cards that came forward in the empowerment reading for the full moon, about being strategic and making moves and deciding which player we're going to be on the board, right? And, yes, the Emperor can be very much like play it by the book, follow the rules, staying in the boundaries. But that also, I'm really feeling the connection to Mars here. You can even see that on the card. It's a beautiful depiction of the Emperor. But one of the things that instantly came to mind then for me was in the midst of all of this very masculine energy, because the Emperor represents the divine masculine, father energy, paternal. There's definitely a lot of that type of energy that can be referenced here. But bringing in the divine feminine perspective, it's noteworthy that here and now in this Capricorn full moon, Eris, the goddess of discord and strife, is very active. So that can indicate some heated emotions or perhaps a need to stand up for ourselves. Eris is considered the sister to Mars. That's why I say this. So, bringing in now the feminine perspective, and I don't mean female or male, it's about masculine, feminine energies in balance. So bringing in a nod to the divine feminine, we have Eris considered the sister to Mars. And while it has that same fiery spirit and can inflame emotions, she is also about returning to a state of harmony. So it's not all just explosive, fiery, warrior energy, but returning to a state of harmony. And I think that's really key. Eris is sometimes considered the goddess of discord and strife, but she's not creating strife for the fun of it. She observes where there are issues and she brings them to the surface. She can see where discord is hiding and she has the power to awaken it. So we can fix and harmonize the situation once and for all. And I think that's important because whatever is falling away, right? Whatever the storm is serving to clear and to bring through in the way of a change, and really maybe even pulling at the very fabric of what we've ever known or understood to be, this is a necessary part of the transformation. It's a stage in the process that ultimately will serve to fix and harmonize a situation once and for all. Because Eris doesn't hide away from what is difficult, and neither does this Capricorn moon. So we definitely may be feeling here and now the need to confront all that's coming up for us. So if we truly want a clean ending, we have to address it all. So that's the thing I always say about the Emperor. He never makes a move he doesn't know will be successful. So we're doing this for real, right? We want to do it right. We want to do it completely. So if I'm cleaning out the closet, I'm going to go all the way with really getting to the bottom of it and sweeping it out and clearing it out because the time is now. And like I said, there's such symbolism in my own life. And this is why I love the tarot so much, because it really is just a tool that symbolizes real life, and the way that it shows up for us. These signs and symbols can speak to us on an intuitive level, speaking to our higher selves to say, I'm actually getting new flooring, okay? The floor at the bottom level, they're ripping up the carpet and replacing it with new flooring. And in order to do that, I have to clear out the stuff that's built up on the carpet, right? All the things from the ground up. And so this Emperor following me everywhere and coming up and saying lead, right? Take the reins, but you want to do it fully and completely to restore balance and harmony, not just for the sake of being in the driver's seat or, saying that we did a thing, which is a perfect segue to the Chariot. So we're feeling this energy coming in with authority. Also noteworthy, we have 3 major arcana cards on the altar this week. Major arcana cards, again, mean big secrets, the big things, the significant stops along our Fool's journey. And our Fool is right here as how we are growing. So as the Fool moves through those 21 cards of the major arcana, it experiences these archetypes. And then we have those minor arcanas, the little secrets, to fill in the details, the people, the places, the things that make up the journey. So this is definitely a very transformative week, a pivotal week, a change in the wind, if we will. So let's go ahead, see what's happening here with our Tuesday card. Okay, Tuesday is bringing in our second major arcana card for the week and our first nod at this whale energy that we're seeing come in here this week. So this is the Chariot. This is the card of movement, of travel, but not so fast, because this is a potential block or challenge. So in what way could we be challenged with the Chariot this week? And so as we dip into the Astral Mermaid's take on the Chariot, it talks about each entity around you having different perspectives, and that your goal is to stay on the path best aligned for you. So that doesn't mean that others around you don't have a different perspective, don't have other priorities or goals. But as for you, you want to be aligned with what is feeling most aligned for you. So, balance, speed, following the light path in front of you, so that you're able to move forward determined and strong. However, if this is challenged, right, we're talking about the potential for tuning into our motivation, our strength, our willpower. Remember the word will on our Queen of the Moon card that came forward for us here for this lunation. That we're talking about, how this might be blocked or challenged this week. So looking at that position of being challenged, if you are experiencing blockages and are allowing the thoughts and feelings of others to create walls around you, the guidance is to get grounded, realign your light with your soul mission, and move forward. You cannot control everything in your life, only the things that you have power over within your own self. So let go of the need to control and trust that everything will be right for you. If you're feeling lost within your own mind, take some time to realign and adjust the reins. Yeah, this is powerful. What this is telling me, and again, this speaks to a lot of the astrological weather we're moving through that has to do with communication and things with others and things being challenged. Mercury will be going retrograde. It is in its pre-shadow now. So we're already starting to see some of the computer glitches and, issues happening there. And of course, it also impacts communication. I've heard, including in my own life, several instances of people encountering unsolicited advice. Other people coming along, perhaps well-intentioned, perhaps not, feeling the need to communicate something to you that's about how they think you should do something or what you should or shouldn't do and all of it. And this is saying, stay your course. When you encounter, and I think it's interesting because, there's something to, why am I asking directions from someone who's never been there before, right? So if we're talking to someone and expecting to get wise, insightful guidance, and this is not something that they themselves have experienced and certainly haven't mastered, why would I expect that that guidance would feel aligned or of the highest, frequency, perhaps? So I do feel that there could be some challenges around that in terms of I'm thinking of like the whale sounds and like it almost being like another language that we're hearing that we can't decipher. There's two different types of whales pictured here. And I did look just to kind of set the tone for the whale symbolism that's coming up here this week. To see what the Spirit Animal Oracle has to say about the whale spirit. And the message is to trust the great mystery, being that whales are ancient creatures who were here at the beginning of time, who have seen everything, felt everything, and heard everything that has ever transpired on this planet. In the hidden realms where all things must gather first before manifesting into form. Whale spirit is the keeper, singing the soul of the whole world from the deepest waters of the coldest seas. When whale spirit appears, it is a reminder that there is a great mystery that you must accept without intellectually trying to understand it. That's the second time we've been told to still our minds in this energy, right? And to go with the flow. The emperor would try to strategize and analyze, and really it's a very cerebral thing from that energy. But if we can bring in the reharmonizing and balancing of the heiress component that I felt compelled to share with you as well, then we may be able to strike that balance. But it can be challenging, right? When there is an imbalance. And so it's saying that some things cannot be known by the mind, only experienced through the heart, through intuition, and through the peripheral senses that part the invisible veils separating the visible world from the great manifesting consciousness in the hidden realms. So now is the time for you to immerse yourself in the great mystery of spirit and to trust that within the invisible, what you can't see now, are the seeds of your intentions being tended to by angels. That's beautiful, because this is what we're talking about. The storm serves, right? Change in the wind. We know there's a change. We can feel it. I feel that roller coaster ticking up, 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 but I don't know what's going to be there when I get on the other side for that drop and that loop-de-loop. Again, I hate roller coasters. We don't know, right? And it's in the not knowing that the ego aspect, and if we are very much in the head, not in the heart, will cling and try to figure it all out and strategize and outsmart and find a way there. And that's where the Chariot's coming in, showing that, there's a sense of where to from here. And we want to really be cautioned who we're taking directions from. Right? And bring that out onto the world stage, because its discernment is so important right now to question all of it. So I do see that there's a little prompt here with this card. So I want to share that because that looks of interest here. Let go of that need to control. Trust that everything will be right for you. Yeah. If you're feeling lost within your own mind, take some time to realign and adjust the reins. So how would you feel if the energy surrounding this situation dissipated? This is a prompt to bring in neutrality. I think this is so, so important, okay? When we're feeling triggered, when we're feeling an emotional knee-jerk gut reaction to something because we're moving through this cone, right? I'm going to bring it in again, cones of love, this cone of emotions, and we feel ourselves in this lower vibrational place, right? We want to restore neutrality. And look where neutrality happens, in the heart, in the green here. We're operating at that 250 hertz, right? Neutrality. Okay, so the neutrality prompt here, little exercise for us or some contemplation. This is coming from the Astral Mermaid. How would you feel if the energy surrounding this situation dissipated? What questions will come up? Do you care what others would think? What if you dove in with all the answers? Would you second guess yourself? Is your thought process surrounding this rock solid? What would happen if you let go of the control? How far will you get if you do not let go? So those are all just rhetorical questions for contemplation around anything that may come up for you this week that creates that stir and any sense of imbalance. So that's our potential blocker challenge. Let's take a look now at Wednesday's card. All right, Wednesday, our midweek blessing is the 7 of Earth, the 7 of Pentacles, and it brings us into that earth energy about what we have planted. There we go. We were just talking about those seeds and not to despair. The whale message was telling us to trust, right? And to know that the seeds of your intentions are being tended by angels. So the 7 of Earth is a card that communicates patience and pacing oneself. And there is a sense of reflection and even having some pride and gratitude for what you have already brought forward thus far. It's really beautiful here as it's depicted because we see these 2 seedlings and this one fully grown, right? So they're in different stages, and the merman is not moving, but rather just pausing, resting, taking a look. And there's a smile, pretty pleased with himself about the growth that has come forward so far. Not complete yet, right? Still in process, but it's a work in progress. So there's a sense of just allowing for that process to unfold as it will. So we're growing, or we have this midweek blessing coming in where there's a little bit of a slower maybe pause or pace here that we're talking about patience as a virtue. So it's asking if we have what it takes to see this through the end. Because here we go again, guys, here's this thing again. These are all different decks, by the way. Through each storm, through each hardship, do we have what it takes to see this through? That's the question that we're being posed with by our higher selves from the universe. This is the waiting game, and not everyone is equipped for it, right? Everyone has a different role to play. And the people or the individuals, the fools on the stage, and like I said, we're going to talk about stepping into the fool avatar for how we're growing here in a moment. All the fools, all the players in the sea, all have different roles that they're playing in this game of life that we are co-creating and collaborating on. And so not all are in that role of being able to see it through, right? In that way. So there's a sense of, stepping into this blessing of the mindset shifting. And you're now recognizing that anything that's worth growing takes time and patience. And you're prepared to put your time and energy into yourself now to reap the gains later. Stability is built on a strong effort and desire to create foundations that are long lasting. Yes, right? The 4 of the Emperor is the number of structure and stability and foundations. And we are in a rebuild period, right? As a collective and in our own lives. And if you look around, like I said, whether you are physically cleaning, clearing, restructuring, rebuilding something in your life, unpacking, packing up, any of those things, or it's more, like I say, energetic or, sort of representative of the idea that you are ready to build something new in your life, even if you don't know yet what that is. We are all experiencing somewhere along that scale, no matter where you are in that stage, right? Just in the seedling stage or fully bloomed, there's a sense of pacing ourselves, having patience and trusting that when we build it, when we grow it, we want to do it right? We want to do it on the foundations that are long lasting. We got to clean out those closets. The closets are, and again, this we talked about in Stars and Cards. So if you haven't seen it yet, that's my collaboration with my soul sis, Moonlight Soul and I. We get together every lunation. Here in the Sharecast is the link. You can catch it on my YouTube channel. We talked all about these spiritual closets and cleaning them out. And like I said, I shared about the literal closet that I'm clearing out here. So it's like, any stretch of the spectrum here is showing up. So take time out and show gratitude for all that you have been blessed with. That's the theme. It's that simple. Midweek blessing. Look how far you've come and look at what has already materialized around you, what you've grown, what you've harvested, what you've brought forward. And remember, those are the things that you wished for, prayed for, were intending before that you now have. And so there's this sense of reconciling all how far you've come and witnessing where you are on the journey with a sense of hopeful recognition to have the courage, to have the perseverance, to keep going. Even if it does mean a pause and a redo, that we have to pause and strip back and, shed and release some things that maybe we even thought we'd already dealt with. That's always something too, especially when we're moving through a lot of different retrogrades, as we are coming back over things that maybe we thought we had already resolved or we thought was already taken care of, but there's some lesson or blessing yet to be uncovered there. So take a look at it from that higher perspective. Let's take a look now at our Thursday card. Okay, Thursday, representing how we are growing this week, and it's all back to zero, right? The Fool, new beginnings. This is the beginning of the tarot, of the major arcana. This is the third major card we have this week, bringing through these energies of new beginnings, of innocence, of curiosity, of adventure. It's clean slate energy. We see that there's a full moon behind them here, which is really speaking to, for me, it's speaking to this full moon that as I'm recording this at the top of the week, we're going to be riding the reverberations of that as we step into and through this week ahead, and it's bringing in new beginnings. Leo season kicking off, really finding an opportunity for us to really step out and make that change, right? Go for it. So there's a sense of the Fool coming forward here in that way. And it says you don't know a lot right now, but you're willing to learn. Again, this card coming up over and over with the will, having the will. Again, this is the Queen of the Moon card that came up in Stars and Cards. We get all into it there, but it is about having the willingness to make the change. Make the change, as the Man in the Mirror energy is bringing forward for us as well. So you're willing to put yourself into situations and alternative realities in order to gain insight. Sometimes you will feel alone, but know that you have your guide with you. So you're not truly alone. And as I look at this, it's so cute. It looks like an axolotl, actually, the little face. So cute. Traditionally in the tarot, he has a little white dog with him, which is showing that loyalty, companionship, and of course the color white showing the innocence and the new energy. So I'm loving that little axolotl there by his side. And it's talking about a new journey has begun. So yes, you are questioning yourself. This is normal. Question it, but jump in. The outcome could be better than you ever imagined. No matter the outcome, lessons will be learned and memories will be made. And memories are the books of your life. Get out of your comfort zone. Yes, last week we had the devil here, right? So we had this energy of the devil coming in midweek that was giving us this temptation, this comfort zone, this getting pulled back into old vices, addictions, patterns, and ways of being. We're freeing ourselves of that. We're releasing, we're shedding, we're letting go, getting out of our comfort zone. Step outside of yourself into the unknown. Have no fear, for it is in the depths of the unknown that your soul will rise to your greatest triumphs. There's a strong energy within you pushing and pulling you along the way. An inner knowing that gives you that extra push to do something without that sense of fear. Allow your guides to walk you towards your highest achievements. Have faith in the whispers that you hear and the nudges that you feel. A new portal has opened for you. And yes, as I say, we're stepping into this new energy. And on the other side of this full moon in Capricorn, and certainly as we approach stepping into the Lion's gateway, that will run across this first week plus of August. So we're gearing up for this. So we're heading out for adventure and whatever comes our way, but stepping into it through the highest vibrational, most expansive, frequency available. So the Fool comes in with this clean slate, full circle energy of cycles ending and now new beginnings starting here, and that the reminder that we are not alone, that we are divinely supported, and that we can turn for that guidance at any time. I love that. You know, we talked about who are we asking for directions. Contact in with your higher wise self, with your guides, loved ones in spirit. You know, utilize your tribe and the people who resonate with you and with whom you feel connection that is aligned and of a high vibrational frequency. And you will never be steered wrong, because it's all about the experiences that we are having as a soul, as a fool here on this journey. So now let's take a look at the final card for the week, Friday's energy. All right, Friday is wrapping up our week, and here's those whales again. I love it. I'm really feeling this connection to the whale kingdom, whale spirit, and this was a very special card. It's called Astral Mermaid, and in fact, it's one of the 2 extra cards that are in this beautiful deck by Danielle Norman. Astral Mermaid and neutrality is the other one. So that word does seem to feel important, since we're saying it for a second time here for this week, is that state of neutrality. But this one is Astral Mermaid. So I want to share with you what she has to say here with this beautiful card. Do you ever feel lonely and not of this world? Like you don't fit in no matter how hard you try? Like your mind lies within the stars and that your heart knows no bounds? That is the energy of this card. Like the keys sprinkled throughout your life that bring forth understanding of who you are on a soul level, this card brings you that refreshing knowing that all is okay, that you are never alone, that your soul will show you the way forward, and that your life is unfolding as it should. One day you will find your way back to yourself, and until then, keep dreaming, keep longing, keep searching for your truth. Determination and following the light path forward will open the gifts that you are looking for. Wow, that's so beautiful, because it really summarizes everything that we talked about. Everything we talked about, right? There's a change in the wind. It's unsettled. I don't feel like I belong here. This doesn't feel aligned. I don't know what's happening. And I don't know where to go from here. And the people I'm asking or where I'm looking for direction seem to be steering me in circles. It doesn't feel aligned. It doesn't feel balanced. It doesn't sound right. And it doesn't resonate with me as my truth. So now we step into this position of the Fool, this clean slate energy, viewing everything as a lesson, a blessing, an opportunity to learn, grow, heal, expand as a soul. And we get reminded here at the end that no worries, your soul self will show you the way. Get those directions from your wise self by tapping in and having that inner standing, and connecting in with the frequency of all that is and all that ever was on this earth plane. And so that's what Whale Spirit was talking about when we were tapping in on Tuesday's Potential Blocker Challenge, when I was sharing some of the messages of Whale Spirit. So that when we're feeling uncertain, when it's not clear, and we're being asked to trust this process of co-creation, to trust that we're in a place where we may not be able to see fully the way or feel like we understand who we are in this picture, right? We're being asked to trust that process. And remember, we're coming full circle here. When it says trust the process of co-creation, and I said change in the wind is a 3 energy, which is creation, co-creation, collaboration, which is what we're all doing here. All the fools, all the players on the chessboard are working together to co-create, right? And who will I be? What move am I going to make? What am I weaving into my world? So, we get this consistent message coming through beautifully from the Astral Mermaid to say, you got this, and to persevere. And yes, it may require that look in the mirror, that reflection, that opportunity for us to call out what falls false, what does not feel authentic, right? We must trust absolutely that everything that will come will be for the highest good. So stay in the present moment awareness, allow the hidden realms to hold your intentions safely until it is time for them to manifest into the realm of form. right? And just trust. Again, I'm finishing out what's here from the whale spirit. When it is challenged, it reminds us some things take longer than others to arrive. Like I said, every one of these cards has been highlighted, underscored, and reinforced. There's our Seven of Earth. Patience and pride and gratitude for the journey, for the role that we are playing, and just for how strong you are to weather these storms and to be able to say, I have made it through 100% of the storms that I have encountered up to this point. And so I show no sign that I am not going to continue to persevere from here. And if I can really root into that knowingness, everything else starts to come together. Everything else starts to become more clear and feeling. And the other thought that I got when I was reading the Astral Mermaid message was that, you know, we talked about over the previous lunations, we had this theme of keep calm and carry on. This idea that, like, shouldn't I be freaking out right now? I mean, the wheels are coming off, change in the wind, like everything is coming apart at the seams. And like, I'm just kind of like throwing my hands up in the air on the roller coaster. That's weird. You know, that doesn't feel, I think I should be melting down and freaking out like maybe some of the other people around me are, you know, or whatever it is. Astral Mermaid is reminding us here to know, have that inner standing that all is okay, that you are never alone, and that your soul will show you the way forward, and that everything is unfolding as it should, as we will, right? We are willing collectively what is unfolding. This came up in the full moon reading once again about the tower and the lightning and the storm, which is causing that tower to fall. What if I am the storm, right? What if it is an aspect of me that is willing this thing to come down, willing this thing to crumble, willing those wheels to fly off? Because ultimately, it's necessary for the full transformation that I'm undergoing so that when I come out on the other side, I'm not even going to recognize myself. That's the level of transformation that's available right now for us as we continue on through 2024. You know, stepping into August and claiming the power of the Strength card over the 888 Lion's Gate. I mean, this is the stuff of massive awakening and change and transformation. So with that, big one this week. Thank you so much for being here. If you would like a personal card pull this week, I am pulling them in divine timing after I finish out the full moon card pulls for this week for those with me in the empowerment pack, or if you would like to come along just for the empowerment full moon reading, again, that is available. I'm going to drop the link here because also now available is to book for August. So speaking of all of that 888 goodness, I've got the empowerment pack open for booking for the month of August. It's my birthday month, whoop whoop. So there will be some fun surprises. We're going to have a bonus message coming through with the Lion's Gate. So do check that out if you're interested. And yeah, sending you guys so much love and peace and reconciliation. So once again, bringing in the sapphire ray and this beautiful energy of peace, courage, and being the change that we wish to see in the world through our collective mirror. Much love, many blessings, and we'll talk soon.